And welcome, sports fans, to today's Roundtable. It's our first show of the Roundtable season. We've gotten underway with fall sports just last night with the first week of football. So a lot to get to today with those recaps of last night's game. And also we'll have Justin Peden with us today, the new head coach for the Dexter Bearcats and the football team. We'll have him in to talk about the game from last night they had with St. Genevieve, also about the Bearcats season this year. And we're here. We start basically the first week of football. We'll be here all the way through May, so we pretty much go the entire length of the school year, bringing you sports from across the calendar. You got fall, winter, and spring, and all those sports involved, and we'll have guests throughout the season as well. So be sure to tune in each Saturday morning live at 10 a.m. right here on YHC, even through online, YHCTV.com and SeamoreSportsZone.com, and hopefully you'll join us each Saturday throughout the year. We do it 10 a.m. live each Saturday, replayed at 4 and 8:30 on Saturdays, and replayed through Tuesday. And all the shows can be viewed online at SeamoreSportsZone.com as well. So glad you joined us, and we're ready for another sports season. And it's gotten off to a start from last night, and we'll go ahead and go to some scores from last night. And we'll start off with the game from last night we had here on YHC. St. Genevieve over Dexter, 42-7, and St. Genevieve getting the better of the Bearcats last night. Always a tough team in St. Genevieve each year, and it's no different this year. They've got a lot of talent on that Dragons football team. We got some footage from that game from last night. We'll go ahead and take a look at. And take a look here. We've got a nice play here starting off. We've got Pollock going down the field, down the center of the field for the Bearcats, and this is where St. Genevieve made their money last night, running the ball, ran it very well, efficiently, a big gain there. And there's the first score for the Dragons, a little snap pass up the middle. And the Bearcats made a nice play here. Peyton Pollock, quarterback for the Bearcats, gets down the sideline and made a nice run down the sideline. Big gain for the Bearcats. And Stevens off to the left side is going to make a nice run down the sideline himself, and a really nice drive here by the Bearcats, and a nice pitch out and a score for the Bearcats. That was their only score of the night, but an impressive drive early on. And again, St. Genevieve going back to the run, and a big run for the Dragons there. And Dexter, another drive here. They put a nice play here, but just give up the football, turned over to the St. Genevieve Dragons, and it really, they hurt him. He got good field, or gave up good field position to the Dragons, and a nice game tackle there by the Bearcats. But a nice run once again up the middle, and I believe this was Rowe with that score. And here's a nice pass down the middle of the field, and another score for the Dragons, and pretty much pushed it away at that point. It was a 35-7 lead at half. And a nice tackle there by Cody Nelden. He was favoring that shoulder afterwards, but finished the game. And that was the top off the Dragons' 42-point score. And a nice team by the St. Genevieve Dragons once again this year. They're always tough year in and year out. Dexter always opens up with that team, and that's a tough one to open up with week one. St. Genevieve always one of the toughest teams in the area. And to other games, Sykeston over Charleston, the state's longest rivalry in Missouri. Sykeston comes out on top once again this year, 24-6. And also Portageville over St. Pius, 39-21. We were down there for that game. We've taped that game. We'll replay that one. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But Portageville off to another good start this year, coming off only a 2-loss season last year, going all the way to the district championship. Lost to Valley Catholic, but another fine season looks like coming up for the Portageville Bulldogs. And also Poplar Bluff over Union, 31-14. We have Malden over New Madrid County Central in a shutout, 12-0. And this is the second year these teams have played in week one, and Malden getting the better of New Madrid both years and winning 12-0 in that contest last night. Also in other games, Fredericktown over Kennett, 27-20. And a nice game there between those two teams, both Class 3 opponents. And Kennett showing some fight last night against the Black Cats of Fredericktown. Also, we have Jackson over North County, 47-13, and this is one team to look forward to. Jackson starting to put things together. They've had a tough few years, but they've really got things going. Starting last year, a 7-3 record last year, opening up with an impressive victory over North County last night. And Thayer over Hayti, always a big rival between those two teams there in Class 1. And Thayer just getting the better of Hayti. Hayti had an early lead, and Thayer responded, coming out with a 16-7 victory. Always a nice game between those two teams. Pretty much the class of Class 1 here in our area between those two teams. And Perryville over East Prairie, 26-12. Chaffee over Grandview, 58-15. Mountain View Liberty over Crothersville, 60-28, and another big victory for Mountain View Liberty. They're in Class 2. They matched up last year for the first time and had a big victory over Crothersville, and once again this year, Crothersville got out to, I think it was like a 14 or 16-0 lead to start the game, and Mountain View Liberty just stormed back, put 60 points on the board. And from that point, Crothersville only scored 12 points from that initial 16-0 lead. So very impressive game for Mountain View Liberty. Very tough team over there west out in Mountain View. And Crothersville going to be strong once again this year, of course, with Daryl Monroe back as a senior. So look out for both of those teams playing in Class 2 this season. And Herculaneum over Scott City, 13-0 in a shutout. And those are the games from last night. And we're off to week 1 in the books for Missouri high school football. And we'll be looking forward to week 2, of course. And we'll be bringing you many games throughout this season. Next week we'll be doing, we'll have Portageville and Kennett there at Kennett Stadium. We'll look to do that one live next Friday night. So look forward to that game down in Kennett. And also games from last night. Look forward to those replays this weekend. The Dexter and St. Genevieve game will replay at 4 o'clock today here on YHC. And also the Portageville St. Pius game, which we were down for last night. We'll replay that one Sunday at 7 and also Tuesday night at 6:30. So look forward to those replays. And both of those games will be available online, cmosportzone.com. The Dexter St. Jim game should be available later on today, and the Portageville and St. Pius game probably late tomorrow. So those games will be able to view anytime on cmosportzone.com. So, and also you can watch those on widectv.com as well. And we've got a guest today. We've got Justin Peden in with us today, the new football coach for the Dexter Bearcats. He's going to be along with us to talk about last night's game and for the Bearcats season this year. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Justin Peden coming up.
Welcome to NFL Total Access,
the show that takes you inside the locker room and down on the field. With inside access to all 32 teams all year long. NFL Total Access, Monday through Saturday, only on NFL Network.
NFL Network, where football season never ends.
First Midwest Bank Gold Club offers special privileges for our friends who are age 50 or better and have combined deposits of $5,000. Members enjoy trips, cruises, seminars, and picnics along with free personalized bank services. Upcoming trips include Journey Through the Holy Land, Yellowstone in winter, Classic Ireland, and Hawaiian Paradise Cruise. Stop by any First Midwest Bank location to sign up for the Gold Club. It's absolutely free. First Midwest Bank, providing common sense financial solutions every day.
And welcome back, and now we're along with Justin Peden, the head coach of the Dexter Bearcats. And Justin, it's good to have you on the show.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure. And tough one last night with the St. Genevieve Dragons, and that's always a tough one to open up with. Dexter's always had a tough test to open up in week 1 in high school football, so last night was no different. And that team last night was loaded. They had everything up front and had the backs to run to, and they just had everything rolling last night.
Yeah, they sure did. They got, they got a good program. Coach Stolzer's got a heck of a program there, and they had the horses, and they just came at us with them, and we didn't have an answer for them in some spots, and it's a learning experience for our guys, and hopefully we can kind of regroup and come out better next week.
Sure. And we had a nice drive early on. I think they went up maybe 13-0, and y'all answered with a touchdown. Had a really nice drive. Just moved the ball down the field, very efficient, and things were starting to look up at that point. But just a few turnovers later on in the game, I think it was at 21-7 at one point. Started to put the drive together on a nice play. Fumbled it over to them. They had good field position, and 28-7 at that point. So you kind of look at that. That was maybe the turning point. Y'all were starting to have a good drive, and then turned it over. They put it back in the end zone, go back up 21 points. So that was really hard to recover from.
Yeah, I mean, our offense is we're I think on that drive we showed what we can do. That the touchdown drive, we get to clicking, and I think that we were just misfiring on some spots. It's week one, it's early, and these guys, even though they've had all summer, they haven't had the years and years of a time of a system being in place, and so you want to be able to get drives going like that, put them together, but we had some drive killers, to fumble, some penalties and stuff, and that's something we just got to clean up. It's everything that went wrong for us last night was things that are fixable, and so as a coaching staff, we're going to come together, figure out where the mistakes were, fix them, get with the guys, and make sure that they're fixed. We got everything on the same page, and then next week hopefully we cut down the mistakes and we get some of those big drives together and we get some big plays and we click a little bit better. I think it's a work in progress, and so we're going to be clicking sooner than later, I think.
Sure. And back to last night, we saw some really good plays. Peyton Pollock, quarterback, had a nice throw deep down the field.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple good throws. And it looks like there's some big play potential with these Bearcats this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've got, Peyton can throw the ball really, really well. Probably, he's probably the best quarterback I've had in a system in this, at Hayti or at here so far. So we have big play potential. DJ Dowdy can get down the field. Cody Neldon, Ethan Stevens, our running backs, Fells, Waldner, Bazarian, those guys, Austin Aldridge, the receiver, they can get down the field quick. And so, there's big play potential all over the place. And we find the mismatches, and that's one good thing about the spread is you spread it out, you find a mismatch, and you exploit it. And so as the season progresses, the guys will start figuring that out, and we'll figure out where to go with it, and you'll see some more big plays out of us.
Sure, and bring the spread to the Bearcats this year, and it looked like you got some pieces, as you mentioned, DJ Dowdy, Cody Neldon, Ethan Stevens, that get the ball out too quick and make some plays. Just seemed like last night couldn't really get into a rhythm with that, getting the ball to those guys for them to make plays. Looked like Peyton Pollock was getting rushed quite often last night, so he was having to get out of the pocket and to make plays. And he had 109 yards last night. He made some plays, but he was out of the pocket quite a bit, and that's a credit to St. Genevieve and what they are bringing defensively.
Oh yeah, like I said, Coach Stolzer, he's probably seen everything we've done, at Hayti or here, and he's got all the tape on it, and he knows how to play the spread. And our guys, like I said, it's just a matter of learning to pick the stuff up. We saw a lot more blitz yesterday than we had, all summer and in the contact camps and jamborees and stuff. And so, it was a good learning experience for our guys up front. Now they know what to expect. They're going to blitz. If we're going to throw, they're going to blitz, and we need to establish the run. We tried to get the run going. It just wasn't clicking, so we had to go to the pass. And then they pinned their ears back, started coming after us, and and then Peyton had to make some plays with his feet, which he had 109 yards rushing and 89 yards passing. So almost right out of 200-yard performance for him, and that's the kind of stuff he can do. If the pocket breaks down, he can make some plays with his feet if he has to. And I'd like for him to stay in the pocket and make some plays with his arm, though. But it happens, and there's a lot of positives to take away from last night. The score obviously is the negative. You hate to see that, but we were in it for quite a while, and it's just little like you said, little things, little turnovers here and there, drive killing penalties. It made it worse than what I think it was, but we'll go back and watch the tape and figure it out and get better.
Sure. We'll be looking forward to the next week. You've got the Poplar Bluff Mules on the road over there, and they're a team that's trending upward over the past few years. They've gotten better each year, it seems like. They got a nice victory over Union last night, so it's at a bigger school. We've got probably a tough opponent there playing up in class, so you got to look forward to next week and put a better performance on the field. Oh yeah, I mean Poplar Bluff's a good football team too. They're similar to what St. Gen was doing. We've seen a little bit of tape on them, and they do some similar things. And they've got a big physical line, and they've got some good stable of running backs. And it's not like it's nothing we haven't seen. And so
it's just a matter of getting the guys to believe in themselves first of all, and believe what we can do, and and get the mistakes cleaned up and come out there next week and put a good performance together. I'll say this, I don't think there's a game on our schedule that's not winnable. If I thought that, then I wouldn't have any business in coaching. And so we can be in or win every game this season. It's just a matter of execution, and it's a matter of being prepared and doing what we need to do.
Sure. And talk a little bit about your team in general. What kind of summer you had with them? Your first year coach here at Dexter, so these guys are looking at a completely different coach
Right.
coming in. So what was your summer like in the off season preparing?
Summer was great. We had real high attendance in weights. We started, I think we started, school ended on a Friday, and we started weights that next Tuesday. I was up here, and we started rolling. And high attendance. The varsity guys, the leaders were there the whole time, and camps went well. And there's a learning curve to putting in a new system, and you've got to start out, you got to crawl before you walk. And so we had guys, we learned spacing and where to line up, and then we started with the base plays and it's kind of built on there. And as time goes, we're putting in more and more stuff, and it's just a matter of getting them ready. But the summer was great. The guys work hard. They're good kids. They love to get out there and work and play football, and it's really it makes coaching a lot of fun when you got guys like that who want to get out there and do for themselves and for you and for the community. And they want to put a good product on the field for everybody, and including themselves. And that's where just their desire is kind of drives you to do better as a coach. And it's I have a lot of respect for our kids. They're hard-working kids, and they want to get better. And the cupboard isn't bare by any means. We've got plenty of athletes. It's just getting them fit into our system, and then we can start rolling.
Sure. And you come from Hayti over the past few years, really good football teams down there traditionally.
Yeah.
So coming up to Dexter, and quite different opponents. You're playing some smaller schools. They're only in Class 1 there, so you're stepping up to Class 3. So what's your view on coming up to Dexter and playing some different teams and just the different atmosphere?
Well, it's a different atmosphere up here. Hayti was a great place, and they put good football on the field down there. There's a lot of talent running around down there. But it was playing Class 1. You'll be able to catch a couple opponents in there maybe aren't on your level, Class 1 wise, and you can a couple games where you can get guys rested and you can get guys ready to go for the next week, and you can beat up on some people and then just kind of pull back in the second half. Our schedule this year, it's brutal. It's a brutal schedule, and I know why it is that way, because you want to play the best competition going into the playoffs. And our first 4 weeks, it's murderer's row, and so, but there's positives and negatives of that. You'd like to get a good kind of warm-up game there, especially with the new system. But it's good competition, and so if we're playing the best teams in the area week in and week out, then by the time we get to the playoffs, then we'll be ready to go, and hopefully, by next week, hopefully by next week we're rolling a little bit more, and we can start challenging or beating some of those teams and letting everybody know in Dexter and in Southeast Missouri that we're for real. And I believe wholeheartedly in my guys and on my coaching staff, and I think we are for real, and it's a matter of just putting together and putting a total performance out there on the field.
Sure. And as you mentioned, the next 4 games, you got Poplar Bluff next week on the road, followed up by Sykeston. Is Sykeston the third one here at home? And then Crothersville here at home.
Yeah.
So 3 of those teams coming up, some of the top teams in the area.
Right.
So, it seems like it's the tradition, Dexter, that first 4 games are certainly the toughest on the schedule. So you get warmed up to good competition early on.
Oh, yeah. I don't mean to quote Ric Flair, but they say, to be the man, you got to beat the man. You know what I mean? And so, you've got to play that competition, because if we play down and we play teams that weren't on our level, by the time we get to our districts and get to the playoffs, and we're going to get beat because we don't understand the competition. But by playing teams like this, you've got St. John, Poplar Bluff, Sykeston, Crothersville, Park Hill Central later on in the year, Charleston, Malden's, they're legit. And so by playing teams like that, you get used to. You understand what competition is, and by doing that, you are able to compete, at a high level. And when it gets playoff time, we'll be able to compete with those teams. Whereas if we played teams that were smaller and we could beat up on them, it might look good in the regular season record books, but then we'll be 1-out in the playoffs, and I don't want that. I want to be able to compete during the season, progressively get better. Then when playoff time comes, go 2-3 deep if we can. So I think it's good. I think it's a good thing having all the competition.
Sure. And looking forward, any guys getting banged up last night?
We had a couple little dings. Peyton Pollock dinged his knee up a little bit, but he's fine. And, Doc Gibbon checked on him, and I called him last night to talk to his dad. And little nicks and bruises here and there, but overall we came out pretty injury free. It's just a matter of them. It's good we have a long weekend this weekend. So the guys can get kind of healed up, and we're not meeting again until Monday. I give them today and tomorrow off to kind of get the sore out and get taken care of that way physically. So, I think it'll be good. But, no, we came out pretty injury-free.
Sure. Yeah, that's a tough one last night in the heat.
Oh, man,
those early games in the heat, that's certainly tough.
Yeah, they were, and the guys, understandably, they were, by the second, third quarter, we've got a lot of two-way guys right now. We need to find some depth. During the summer and the Jamboree, we lost a couple guys to, some of our defensive linemen, offensive linemen to some injuries. And, Jake Murdoch tore his ACL, and Noah Raines, senior defensive end, broke his fibula. So they're out for a little while, and Jake's out for the season. But that hurt our depth. So we got to find guys who want to come in and step in and take that role. And when we find that little bit of depth and get some guys in a rotation, keeping fresh legs, we'll be better off.
Okay, so we'll be looking forward to week 2 as the Dexter Bearcats take on the Poplar Bluff Mules on the road, and we'll be looking forward to another Bearcats season here that will bring 6 games of their 9-game schedule here on YHC. So we'll be looking forward to see what the Bearcats do going forward, and wish you all the best of luck going forward. Stay injury free. Yeah. I know with football, that's the blessing you got to hope for going forward. So hopefully everything works out in that regard. And Justin, we appreciate you coming by today and talking with us, and we'll be seeing you down the road.
All right, thank you much. Appreciate it.
And we're going to take a break and be back with more. Don't go away.
It's the small things in life that you tend to appreciate. The quality of care at SEMO Health Network is no different. They focus on the small details with healthcare that make you feel good, so you can get back to enjoying the small things in no time. They have so many ways to take care of you with 8 locations serving rural communities in need of medical care, including dental facilities and an in-house laboratory.
You'll feel good about this. SEMO Health Network. Stay connected to you. I like the way you do what you do. Alright, okay, you're fine.
Call Audubell Hearing Center at 1-800-499-8786 or visit one of our locations in Dexter and Poplar Bluff, Missouri today.
Take a look at some state rankings. Now we're going to take a look at some state rankings for the state of Missouri, and the sports writers and broadcasters have released their poll for the first week heading into week 1. So we're going to go over those rankings from the state of Missouri. In Class 1, Hamilton, defending state champions at number 1 to lead off this year, had a record of 15-0 last year. Valley Catholic coming in at number 2 with a 12-3 record. 3, Westron with a 10-2 record from last year. 4, Tipton, who went 13-1. 5, Thayer, who went 6-5. 6, Cass Midway, who went 9-3. 7, Polo, who went 8-4. 8, South Harrison, who went 9-2. 9, Salisbury, who went 12-2. 10, Marceline, who went 7-4. And in Class 2, Lamar at number 1, who went 12-3 last year. I think they are the defending champions for Class 2. Number 2, Mountain View Liberty, who went 10-3. 3, Crothersville, who went 10-3. 4, Lutheran North, who went 4-7. 5, Mountain Grove, who went 11-1. 6, South Callaway, who went 10-2. 7, Herculaneum, who went 7-3. 8, Stratford, who went 10-1. 9, Blair Oaks, who went 13-2. And 10, Brookfield. And just take a look at those Class 2 rankings. Last night we had 2 top 3 teams in that poll go at it with Mountain View Liberty and Crothersville. So, Crothersville been one of the top top teams in Class 2. They made it all the way out to the semifinals, lost to Lamar in the state semifinals in Class 2 last year. And take a look at Class 3. Number 1, Maryville went 15-0, defending Class 3 champions. 2, John Burroughs went 13-1 and lost in the state championship. Number 3, California, who went 13-1. 4, Oak Grove, who went 11-1. 5, Duchesne, who went 8-5. 6, Cassville, who went 11-1. 7, Reed Spring, who went 7-4. 8, Center, who went 10-3. 9, Centralia, who went 10-2. 10, O'Fallon Christian, who went 9-2. In Class 4, Webb City, the defending Class 4 state champions and the team that dominates Class 4 pretty much year in and year out. They're at number 1. 2, Jeff City Helias, who went 10-5. 3, Harrisonville, who went 11-3. 4, Bolivar, who went 9-3. 5, Raytown South, who went 6-5. 6, Westminster Christian, who went 8-3. 7, Liberty North, who went 6-5. 8, Hillcrest, who went 10-2. 9, Hannibal, who went 10-2. And 10, Sullivan, who went 12-1. And in Class 5, Lee Summit West on top at number 1, who went 11-1. 2, Fort Osage, who went 12-2. Two-way tie, actually, for number 2. 2, second team tied, Parkway Central, who went 11-2. 4, Kirkwood, who went 13-1. 5, Webster Groves, who went 9-3. 6, Staley, who went 9-3. 7, Camden, who went 8-4. 8, Winnetonka, who went 7-4. 9, Ozark, who went 11-2. 10, Vianney, who went 5-6. And there is a Class 6 in football, but none of the teams here locally participate in Class 6. Pretty much just all the highly populated metro areas for the state of Missouri. And we're going to take another break and be back with some previews of college football games taking place. Also, we're going to have a video from the Southeast Missouri State Athletic Department as Athletic Director Mark Allnut welcomes back all the SEMO students and gives a intro to SEMO athletics for this year. And also, we'll talk about some other fall sports in the works as well, so don't go away.
Okay, you're hooked up and ready to go.
New Wave knows you're excited about sports, so now's a great time to get connected with the Triple Play Package. Crystal clear TV, high-speed internet, and telephone for only $99.99 a month for 12 months. With New Wave Communications, you've got game. In addition to unlimited calling, New Wave telephone users have a wide range of great phone features available. And now with the help of New Wave Internet, they're even easier to use thanks to our convenient online phone manager. Just log on to your MyWave portal. Now phone features like call forwarding can be set up instantly from any computer. Reliably activate or deactivate your call forwarding. And even set your home phone to ring once when a call is forwarded. Home telephone service made even better with New Wave Communications. Call today.
And now let's take a look at some college football matchups taking place today. And had some games already for Thursday and Friday night, and we'll talk about those in a bit. But games to look forward to this weekend. Top-ranked and two-time defending national champion Alabama will take on Virginia Tech on the road today in the ACC. So a decent opener for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Also, Buffalo at second-ranked Ohio State, who's back in the mix this year after a one-year bowl ban. I think they went undefeated last year, had a very good season, and they're going to be right there in the mix this year in college football. And Rice at seventh-ranked Texas A&M, and this is one game that's going to be really looked forward to, even though the matchup doesn't really warrant it probably. But Johnny Manziel, the Heisman Trophy winner from last year, going over this controversy with the autograph signing and whatnot. He's going to have to sit out the first half because of that inadvertent violation of the rules. So he's going to have a chance to get in the game starting in the second half. So that's going to be much anticipated, and what the Texas A&M Aggies are going to bring this year, as well as Johnny Manziel, the current Heisman Trophy winner. Also, Temple at 14th ranked Notre Dame, Mississippi State at 13th ranked Oklahoma State, 5th ranked Georgia at 8th ranked Clemson, 12th ranked LSU at 20th ranked TCU, Murray State at Mizzou, Arkansas Pine Bluff at Arkansas State for the local games, and last night SEMO dropped their opener to Southeastern Louisiana 45-7. So those are the games to look forward to this weekend. And taking a look at those games, Arkansas State coming off 2 straight Sun Belt Conference titles, so they'll be looking forward for a third. And what a feat that would be if they could pull that off. One of the best programs there at the mid-major level are the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Got a big bowl win last year, and things are looking up there in Jonesboro. So good luck to those Red Wolves and the Red Hawks, looking to do better this year in the OVC. Had a few down years after coming off that great season just a few years ago. They're looking to get things back to the winning ways there in the OVC. And take a look at some games from the last night. North Dakota State defeated Kansas State on their home field. Impressive victory for North Dakota State, even though they probably shouldn't have been underestimated too much. They've won the past 2 football subdivision championship subdivision titles there in the subdivision. It's basically the former Division I AA. They've changed it to championship subdivision, and they've won the last 2 titles and went on the road and beat Kansas State. Impressive victory for North Dakota State last night, and kind of have flashbacks of Appalachian State going and knocking off Michigan on their home field. It kind of had the same feel. So impressive victory for North Dakota State last night. And we'll be getting underway with college football as well this weekend. Pros don't start till next weekend. They'll have a Thursday night kickoff with Denver and the defending world champion Baltimore Ravens, and it's going to be at Denver. This is always a great tradition that the pros have, the NFL. They kick off the season on a Thursday night on NBC football, and the world champion always hosts the kickoff game, and they do a banner ceremony and all that. And basically there's a conflict with baseball in Baltimore, so Major League Baseball, I don't know what arrangement was made, but basically Major League Baseball is getting the discretion when it comes to having both games in Baltimore that night, so they're going to have the game at Denver. So it's going to be a little change in the tradition that the NFL puts on each year, in the defending Super Bowl champion hosting the kickoff game for Week 1. But it's not going to be the case. It's going to be in Denver, but probably a nice matchup between those 2 teams. Of course, probably one of the greatest games in NFL playoff history last year, where the Ravens had a 70-yard touchdown pass and with just seconds remaining, and won the game in overtime, and eventually, of course, going on to win the Super Bowl last year. So we'll be looking forward to that game kicking off Thursday night on NBC. And before we get away from college, we want to show a video from the Southeast Missouri State Athletic Department featuring Athletic Director Mark Allnut previewing Southeast Missouri State athletics this year. So let's take a look.
On behalf of the Southeast Missouri State University Department of Athletics, I want to take this time to personally welcome students, faculty, and staff back to campus for the 2013-14 academic year. There are a lot of great things going on in athletics that I want to share with you as you settle in for the first week of classes. In my first year as Director of Athletics, Southeast placed 3rd in the Ohio Valley Conference Commissioners Cup, earning its highest finish in school history. The Redhawks were among the top 5 OVC teams in several sports, with the women's track and field team winning the indoor title and the volleyball team claiming the OVC West Division. Outside of competition, 13 of Southeast's 15 teams achieved a cumulative grade point average over 3.0, including all 10 of our women's programs. Southeast student athletes also logged over 1,000 hours of community service, participating in a variety of different events. Our student athletes are students first and athletes second, and we constantly strive to achieve the core values of our mission: academic excellence, social development, and competitive success. Now that 2012-13 is behind us, it's time to look forward to this upcoming season. All of our fall sports are now in full swing as the football, volleyball, cross country, and soccer teams hit the road this week. The volleyball team was picked first in the OVC West Division, while the soccer team was projected third in this year's preseason polls. On September 21st, Southeast football team will face regional rival Southern Illinois in the first ever NCAA football game at the new Busch Stadium. We are expecting a great crowd and wanted to invite you to be part of this awesome event. In closing, I want to thank the student body, the entire university community for all your support. We are excited about this year and look forward to seeing you cheering on the Redhawks. Best wishes to a safe and successful 2013-14 school year. Go Redhawks!
And we took a look there at the Southeast Missouri State athletics going forward, and hopefully they can put some good things together this year in their respective seasons. And we're going to be covering more sports as the fall develops. We'll be getting into volleyball and also fall softball and even some fall baseball. The fall softball season is the sanction season for the playoffs, the state tournaments. You know, they play in the fall and also in the spring, but the fall is sanctioned for state tournament play. So we'll be covering that extensively throughout this fall. And of course, volleyball is always a big deal here in Southeast Missouri, and we got some really good teams. We had some teams go to the state championships last year. Notably, Bernie went all the way to I think they went to the state championship, going away with second place. So nice run for the Bernie Lady Mules last year in volleyball, and also you throw in teams like Bloomfield, Scott City. A lot of these teams here locally do well at the state level, and especially here in Southeast Missouri. So we'll be giving you updates and analysis on volleyball going forward as well this fall. And fall baseball is pretty much exhibition play. They're sanctioned district state tournament plays in the spring, so we'll cover those contests through the fall as well, but we'll be waiting to the spring when it gets into district and state tournament play. And you want to be sure to tune in each Saturday right here on YHC and YHCTV.com, SemoSportsZone.com for the Sports Roundtable each Saturday, 10 a.m., and it's available on demand for viewing starting on Sunday on SemoSportsZone.com, even YHCTV.com, so look forward to being with us throughout the year. We pretty much go the whole school year, and we'll be going through late May here with the Roundtable each Saturday. So a lot to get to this season. Hopefully you'll join us each Saturday along the way, and we'll have guests on. Try to have guests every Saturday. It's what we try to do. Have a coach, sports writer, just any contributor in to talk about local athletics here in Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas. So look forward to the Roundtable getting underway each Saturday here on YHC. And that's all we've got for you this morning, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hopefully you'll tune in each Saturday going forward. And until then, I'm Tyler Wagner. Have yourself a great Labor Day weekend.